Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your Bitcoin report. Today is the 3rd of January, 2020. Anyway, listen, let's get right into it. Let's open up the charts right here. Bitcoin surged 6% to $7,200 in minutes. You know, what this reminds me of, watching Bitcoin going along for days and days and days. It's like it's sitting on the pot. Okay? It's like a 3-year-old potty training. It's like Bitcoin. When's it gonna go? When's it gonna take this dump? When's it gonna do it? Maybe it won't do it at all. Maybe it was just a false feeling that it was gonna take a dump. We're waiting. We're waiting for Bitcoin to take this dump. But maybe it won't. Well, it surged up to $7,200, and they're wondering why. Bitcoin. It says Bitcoin didn't start off Thursday too hot, with the price of leading cryptocurrency tanking to 6,900 and 6,800 later in the day. The worst part of the plunge, Bitcoin was trading down 4% on the day, with altcoins posting similar losses. But it seems that bulls are not giving up without a fight. In the past hour, Bitcoin has surged some $400, which amounts to approximately a 6% move, tapping 7,250 before retreating to 7,200, which is where the price of Bitcoin is attempting to stabilize now. They're thinking it could have been a Bitcoin short squeeze by BitMEX, or it could be the Iran narrative, where the United States, we all know what happened in Iran, where Iran lost some of its most important men, militarily speaking. And this has resulted in global markets having a little bit of a haywire effect for just a little while. Crude oil, for instance, jumped 3%, and gold saw a 10% gain, $10 gain in the minutes after the reports on the Iran-related events. Some have suggested that Bitcoin, like other assets, moved due to this geopolitical event. So they're not quite really certain exactly what caused the gain in Bitcoin. I'm thinking maybe it's just getting down to the point now where it's ready to pop, ready to go. It's ready to lift off a little bit. That's the dangerous part of trying to wait for the lowest price. Is all of a sudden, it can jump so fast. It jumped 6% in just a matter of minutes. Now I want to talk about something else here. This is something that I'm really interested in, is they're starting this new thing, this new day. Proof of keys day. It's like with cryptocurrencies, you own the keys to your own car. Now in the banking system, do you really own the keys to your bank account? Is your money really safe and secure? I know they say the FDIC has got your backs with their insurance. But they've only got $25 billion to cover $10 trillion on deposit. That's only a very, very, very small fraction of the money that they have on deposit in the banking system. And in fact, that $25 billion would not cover the losses of even a medium-sized one of these banks that are too big to fail goes down. It would take all of that and more. And so this is a very unusual thing, this thing about your keys. It's like checking to make sure your money's really there. If you don't have the keys, your private keys, to your wallet, then those are not really your coins. So if they're going to do a day every year where everybody checks their private keys, what that would be essentially like is if everybody were to go to the bank and say, I want my cash today. Can you just imagine what would happen if everybody in the entire banking system across America, all the people out there, were to go into the bank on one particular day a year and say we want all of our money out of the bank in cash, the banks would be the one that need potty training at that point, because they don't have it. Quite seriously, you think they got your money. They like to give you this illusion at the banks that they have your money. This is what the big vault is all about, and they leave the vault door part open and you kind of peer in there, a little bit when you're in the bank and you think, oh, look, they got all the cash in there of everybody's money on deposit. No, they're just keeping enough cash in that vault to cover the people that come in and want to take a little bit of cash out. They just got enough. They really don't like it when a person comes in and asks them for, say, 5,000. They're okay with a person wanting 500. They really don't want to give you a lot of cash. And if you want more than $5,000, they're going to ask you, well, what do you want this money for? Well, that's none of your business. It's my money. Give me my money. And they say, well, you'll have to wait 2 weeks. Or something like that. Or you just might get it, but I can see a time coming in the future where you won't get it. If you want, say, and they'll keep lowering the amount. Meanwhile, inflation's getting worse and worse. I'm going to tell you what, it's like in the old days. If you were to go out with a $100 bill, people didn't want to change it. And the reason why was a $100 bill was like 1,000 now, right? A $100 bill now it's like a 20. And I mean, it's getting to the point of being ridiculous because they keep lowering the amount that they'll take. A lot of places now won't take a $100 bill. They won't break it for you. And it's the same way with the bank. They keep lowering that amount. Like, first, they don't want to give you 10,000 of your money, and then they'll lower it to 5,000, and in the end, they'll have it to 3,000. Meanwhile, the dollars are worth less and less and less while all this is happening, So, this is the way it really should be. Everybody should, once a year, check and make sure they really have their money, that it's theirs and in their possession, which we never do with the banks. This is why the banks are always saying savings and loan and trust. They want your trust. What they did during the Great Depression, put distrust in the system. And remember all the old people, that came out of the Great Depression, they got old and stuff. They told you. Your great-grandmother told you. She said, don't trust the banks. Right? We've forgotten. We're fully trusting the banks now, or at least most of the population is fully trusting the banks. These banks are taking your money and they're investing it wherever they see fit in these risky ventures out there, in places like the stock market and whatever, and they don't have to give you your money back, And so this, in cryptocurrencies, investing your money in cryptocurrencies, if you got the proof of keys, you're really holding that money and you're holding it yourself. You're becoming your own bank, essentially. And this is extremely important. So, not your keys day is extremely important. I think this is a great idea. Proof of keys. January 3rd, 2020 is the second Proof of Keys Day. I wonder if this will really start to take off and if this will become a real thing in the future, where people all check to make sure they really have their money by requiring proof of keys. It says the event was initiated last year, the brainchild of Bitcoin investor Trace Mayer. Last year, the event created a significant outflow from the exchanges, as owners are urged to move their coins to private key wallets and claim ownership. The day for taking stock of coins was chosen to also mark the creation of Bitcoin Genesis block. This year, the Bitcoin network turns 11 years old and heads into another decade with multiple challenges and significant growth in value. It's growing ever since it began. Bitcoin's still growing. Basically, the way I look at it is that big move up we had in price to $20,000 and then back down again. If you look at the long-term charts, that was just like an abnormality in the long-term chart. But the real long-term chart shows steady growth all the way through. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this show. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.